Hello and welcome to this week's special episode of Dreamers and Doers Women Living Their Dreams. This is all about women who are stepping up, who are living their potential, who are letting their light shine and making a difference in the world. And I'm Carolina Stevens from Journey to Empowerment. I'm a certified life mastery consultant. And I'm so excited for you to meet a dear friend of mine all the way from Canada, who I met from on social media, would you believe? And I love her positive spirit, and she's sprinkling empowerment and upliftment wherever she shows up. Not only that, she is an Olympian. She is a Hall of Famer. She is a national and professional world figure skating champion, and she's performed for audiences worldwide. So let me introduce you to Barbara Berezowski with Finding Your Purpose and Living with Joy. Thank you so much, Barbara, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Carolina, for your invitation to be on your show. It's just wonderful to see you.
Yeah, let's get the ball. Whoops. Everything that can go wrong. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm just afraid my dog's going to start barking, but whatever.
I think that won't matter now. So let me introduce you briefly to Barbara. She strongly believes in the power and benefits of self-development, as do I, by the way. And she's a student of life. And her path of ice transported her into a successful career in public relations, a coach, a course creator, and CEO of Widow Sisterhood and Widow Champion Coaching. Barbara teaches widows how to move forward from their pain of grief to become empowered women to find their purpose and live a life of hope for a bright future. What a beautiful mission, Barbara.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And first of all, I want to congratulate you on all your extraordinary achievements.
Thank you. I've been very blessed. I've been given opportunities in life, and I've always been encouraged to go for it and always live in the moment with joy. And I think that it's really paid off because I am so grateful for everything that I have.
Beautiful, beautiful message, Barbara. And so I'd love for you to share your story. How did you get into figure skating? How did it all unfold for you?
Well, growing up in Canada, figure skating and hockey are wonderful winter sports for children to play. And my parents, I was an only child, and they gave me the choice of either learning how to play piano or figure skating. And for me, it was not a difficult decision to make. I thought, playing a piano, I'm an only child and I'll be here alone all day long. No, if I skate, I'll be on a rink with lots of friends. So that was it. That was my choice, and I never looked back. I've been skating ever since.
How old were you when you started?
I was actually 7 years old.
And when did you decide to become a professional figure skater?
Well, that's an interesting question. I started skating and I loved it. And it doesn't happen anymore now, but there used to be very glamorous ice show extravaganzas that would travel all through North America and Europe. One of them was Ice Capades and the other one was called Ice Follies. And when I was about 10 or 11, somewhere around there, my parents took me to see Ice Follies. And it's odd to say, but as a 10-year-old child, I had a revelation at that moment, a moment of epiphany. And I just thought, you know what? I am going to grow up and be in one of these shows. And then from there, I just kept skating and practicing and learning and practicing and falling and getting up and falling and getting up. And over the years, I developed into quite a good skater, and I became an ice dancer with a partner. And we started skating together when I was 16. And within 6 months, we became the national junior champions of Canada. So that was unheard of.
Wow.
So it was really like a fast track to the top. I don't know why, it just happened that way. But we became members of the world team for Canada when we became Canadian champions. And then we were lucky enough to become members of Canada's Olympic team. And we were in the Olympics in Innsbruck, Austria in 1976. But in the back of my mind, I always had that dream as a little girl that that's where I want to go, ice follies. And after we finished with the Olympics and the World Championships that year in Sweden, we were lucky enough to be called by Ice Follies and Ice Capades executives to see if we would sign a contract and appear and star in their show. I was over the moon. So that's what we did. And because Ice Follies was always my goal, it was again a no-brainer for me. And we signed the contract and we started performing in Ice Follies.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing, Barbara. Here, as a little girl, you have this dream, and you just decided that's what you're going to do. Isn't that powerful? And then, yeah.
Now, I was going to say, you hear many stories of people having a vision and they can imagine themselves in where they want to be. And I did that out of instinct. I didn't know back then that there was a power to it. It just came to me naturally. So now when you hear all the powerful messages about visualization and believing in yourself and all the messages that you are constantly delivering to everyone, it's so true. And I am amazed because I lived it, and it's without even knowing about it. So it's a very natural sense that we human beings have. We just have to tap into it.
Wow, this is so powerful. You're a true dreamer and doer. You just had this vision and you kept it in the back of your mind and you kept thinking about it. And then, you just literally signed the contract and became the woman who, actually lived that life. How inspiring, Barbara.
And thank you, but it really filled my cup of gratitude every time I performed in that show, and I would see little children in the seats smiling, and they'd be looking up at you in awe. And it just took me back. I thought I was one of you way before. So if you want to do this, you think hard and dream big, and you can do it too.
What a beautiful message for all of our listeners and viewers right now, whatever it is. I mean, for the little girl, 10 years old, to be in the show, it seemed very far fetched, right? It seemed like you didn't know how it was going to come together, but it did. And so we both want you who is watching here right now to know that you can do this too. What's a dream that you would love to experience in your life? So what a beautiful story. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's that's why I say I feel so blessed. And you're right, it was a dream of mine, and it was in the back of my mind. Like I didn't say every day of my life, okay, I'm going to be in the show. I'm going to be in the show. I just made the decision and then carried on with my life and just stayed on my path. And it led me to where I was supposed to be.
Yeah, beautiful, Barbara. And also, you mentioned another thing. You mentioned failing and falling and getting back up again, that's part of the journey to success. And so, how did you deal with those challenges or failures in your career?
Well, you're absolutely correct. It is all a journey to success. And that's where my career as an athlete taught me so much. And I really developed a champion mindset skill. And it is something that you can take and apply to your daily life and in any situation. I mean, if you look at Henry Ford or Albert Einstein, when they came up with inventions, it wasn't a success from the get-go. They tried and they failed, and they tried and they failed, and they tried and they failed until they finally reached success. Because in those failures, there are lessons to learn, and those lessons will make you bigger and better and stronger and wiser. So never be afraid of obstacles, because an obstacle is there to teach you something. It's a challenge, and you should never be afraid of a challenge, because that's what makes you grow.
What a powerful, powerful message, because fear of failure is often the thing that makes us shrink back into our comfort zone when we know we're not going to get it right or not going to get it perfect. And
That's so true. And as a skater,
mhm,
it's much simpler to understand that if you want to try to learn how to do a certain jump, let's say,
mhm,
you're going to fall many times before you actually accomplish that jump. And even after you accomplish that jump and you're proficient at it, you may fall again, but that's okay. You just have to get up and keep going. And it's a powerful lesson that can be applied to your life. And that's why I feel so blessed that skating has given me all of these tools to use and keep my mind sharp and open-minded, to know that, okay, doesn't matter. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid, you'll be paralyzed. You won't go ahead and you won't try. So just try it, and expect to fall, expect to fail. That's okay. Don't be afraid of that. And you will just get better by it.
I love that. That's such a powerful message for all of us. And so, Barbara, you're talking about a champion mindset. And so, what other components are there? What other skills? What else have you learned? What other skills that really made you the champion that you are?
Well, I have to say, you're asking all the perfect questions, because you understand all this too. Not just being afraid of failure and not being afraid to try is a good one. But
Mhm,
we also learned how to be dedicated to your craft, be dedicated to your goal, your vision, your dream, and be committed to it. The biggest commitment you can make is to yourself. That's the one that is worth more than anything else, because if you're not committed to your own self growth and your own self development, nothing is going to happen, because you are in charge. You own your power. But many people are afraid to own their power. They look at that as, okay, I'm in a vulnerable state here. I don't know if I can go ahead and do what I want to do. But it's so important to know that with dedication and commitment and a never give up attitude, it can propel you forward in any given situation and in any walk of life.
hmm, hmm. Yeah, that's it's so so true. There's such that makes such a powerful mindset.
Hmm.
And so on the way, I mean, of course, you have experienced challenges. It's not a smooth ride all the way to our dream.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so you must have had some darker times. And so just wondering, yeah, how the skills have supported you in those dark times.
Well, life is life. Things happen. And
Mm,
it sounds like my life was this beautiful, glorious, happy fairy tale, but just like anybody else, there are ups and there are downs. And one of the most devastating times in my life is when I became a widow. I was
mm,
a young mother with two small children to raise, and life was really difficult. And
mm,
in fact, it was so devastating that I was lost and I was broken, and I had lost my mojo. I guess that's the best way to say it. I've lost my mojo. My energy source was depleted, and I just felt like, okay, I can't go on. My life is over. I don't matter anymore. I have two children, and I'm going to do what I have to do to make their pain not as great as mine. I want them to be able to see their way through this journey and come out the other side as young, strong men with a great attitude.
Mm.
So I did that for 3, 4, or 5 months into my widow life, and I ended up having a bit of a breakdown. And I was in the hospital, and a nurse came to see me and sat on my bed after they did all the testings. And no, I wasn't having a heart attack. It was just, stress.
Mhm.
And the nurse looked at me and she said, honey, if you don't start taking care of yourself,
Mm.
who is going to take care of your children? Remember, I said I was an only child, right? So I didn't have brothers and sisters. My children didn't have aunts and uncles. And I thought, oh, the light bulb went on. Oh my God, you know what? I do matter. I guess I do have to take care of myself for them. If not for me, for them.
Mm.
So I came to realize it's important to take care of yourself for myself and for them, because I came to realize once I did that, life is precious, and every widow has the same sense of gratitude for all the little things in life when you experience a loss. All of a sudden, the grass is greener and the sky is bluer because you're amazed at what's in front of you that you took for granted all that time before the episode that gave you the greatest devastation, right? So I thought, okay, great. Now, how am I going to carry on? And I thought, I was an Olympian. I made it all the way to the top of the mountain in my sport. And then I made it even higher to achieve my dream of being in a show. Now
Mm.
here I find myself alone and devastated and weak and I lost all my hope. And I thought, how am I going to do this? If I got all that way to the top using my champion mindset skills, then I haven't lost them. They're still in here. So, what would happen if I applied them to my daily life? That day, I decided that's what I was going to do. And once I started doing that, committing to myself, being dedicated, being devoted, being positive, having a never give up attitude, and seeing possibilities again, my life changed. Everything changed because I started to think like a champion. And that's what helped me through my widow journey.
Wow, that's so powerful to rise from this devastation, such a deep devastation that when you lose your partner, and I haven't had this experience, so I can't even fathom what that would be like. But yeah, my heart goes out to anybody who's in this experience, and I love what an amazing role model you are, that you realize that your champion mindset can also help you to rise, yeah, and start a new life, new possibilities, commit yourself to yourself, self-care. It's funny
Sorry,
to
my dog is barking.
That's okay, that's okay. So yeah, what a beautiful message, Barbara.
Thank you.
And so my guess is there are different stages in grief. When somebody's really raw and it's just happened, what is the message? What would you say to them then versus to somebody who's maybe already a little bit along the path and um
Yeah, that's another good question. My best advice to anyone that just is starting their journey as a widow um, is to be kind to yourself. Self care and self love and patience and doing what you can to feel grounded is the best thing you can do in the beginning. One of the most important things that I realized was it was okay to be not okay.
mm,
I had no qualms about feeling the way I did. In fact, I know now, and this is what I teach, I know now that it was right for me to feel what I was feeling because I needed to connect with that and to work my way through it. Had
Mm,
I ignored it and pushed to the side and, didn't deal with anything, then I think one day, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, I would just implode because all of that emotion and thought and hurt is in your body.
mm,
So if you don't acknowledge it, it has no release. The pressure just keeps building and building and building. So that's the most important thing I would say is acknowledge what you're feeling, reach out for support. If you need help from anyone, it's okay to ask for help. One of the most common things for widows when somebody says, "Oh, can I get you anything? Can I do anything for you?" A widow will always say, "No, no, I'm okay, thanks."
mm,
Because she doesn't want to become a burden to anyone.
mm,
And that is a mindset that you have to shift. No, you have just experienced something that is dreadful. And if somebody offers help, then please take it because it will help you through. Otherwise, you're going to be so overwhelmed by little things like having to cut the grass or shovel the snow or go to the grocery store when you're not ready to go. It's so important to be able to be accepting and allow people to help you.
mm. What a powerful message. And I love that you're really stressing that it's so important to feel our emotions fully. Because otherwise, like you're saying, we're holding them in and they going to come out in some way, either in our health, health issues or whatever, or a breakdown or something. So it's really important to get ourselves help to heal, go through the process of the grief, and all the stages of the grief and allowing support in. That's a great piece of advice for anybody, because we're all going to experience loss at some stage of our lives, whatever that may look like for
Right.
us. So that's really, really beautiful advice.
Well, and on the other hand, if you are a friend of a widow or
Mhm.
somebody that just experienced a loss, it's difficult for them too because they may not have experienced it.
Mm,
They may be afraid of it, and that fear will have them shut down, and they will not know the right thing to say. They will not know the right thing to do. And because of that, they will distance themselves. And many widows find that too, that their friends that they used to hang around with all of a sudden are so distant. And it's nothing personal, it's just that they don't know how to deal with it. So I try to teach women as well, friends of widows, that the best thing you can do is just listen. Just be there to listen because a widow needs to again express her emotions. So if she wants to cry, if she wants to scream, if she wants to yell, if she wants to tell her story, the best thing you can do is sit there and support her by listening. And if you want to offer help, don't just say, "Well, can I do something for you?" That's not going to be productive. Instead, offer advice like, "I'm going to the grocery store right now. Do you need me to pick up some milk or whatever you need? Because it's not out of my way." So a widow is more inclined to say, "Well, actually, yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be great." Because she hasn't been a burden to her, but it's a suggestion that she doesn't have to think about something to ask for, right?
hmm. That's wonderful to give advice also to the support people because it's true. Sometimes we don't know how to act and what to say. We kind of disappear in the background. But in this time, our friend needs the most support, and for us also to learn to be comfortable with uncomfortable emotions and be willing to be with somebody who is in pain without needing to fix them, without needing to even give them advice, just to be there and holding space for them to process their emotions. Yeah.
Exactly. I think people are afraid
Hmm.
to be there because they won't know what to say or what to do. But like
Yeah.
I said, if you're just there to support. That's the best gift you can give them.
Hmm. That's great. That's good learning for me as well. So thank you, Barbara. And so I would love to learn a little bit more about your programs and what do they look like and how can you support and how do you love to support widows?
Well, thank you for asking. I have a website, widow-sisterhood.com. And on there, you will see a little bit of what I offer. And I love coaching women in general, but most specifically, widows and friends of widows. So I have a few programs. I have an online self-paced course called Widow Empowerment Masterclass. And it's a 4-week course that anyone can just join, and it'll be filled with videos and tutorials and connections with me, and they can just go at their own pace. They can do it in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It's up to them. And then I have a deep dive personal coaching program. It's my signature program called Widows Embracing Life. This is a more comprehensive program where, I mean, you can't heal all this pain and find your way overnight.
Mm,
So we take our time and go week by week, step by step, to gain back your power and gain back your confidence to find out how you can move forward in life, because life is such a gift. And I help women transform their pain into their strength, because I want them to embrace life again and live with all the joy that they can.
mm,
Oh,
yeah.
I also have a private Facebook group. It's called Courageous Empowered Widows. And I invite all widows out there to look for this on Facebook, because we have a compassionate group of women that have all suffered loss. And to see them being able to express themselves and find inspiration and encouragement from one another. I mean, it's a real sisterhood. So that is something I'm very proud of as well.
That's what wonderful support you offering, to widows. And I will put all the information into the notes. So if you're listening to the recording afterwards, you'll find them, in the notes. And yeah, and the other thing that I want to highlight is that sometimes we go through extreme trauma and that very challenge can then lead us on to our life's purpose. Like for you, Barbara, you went through this really heartbreaking situation and loss, and then out of this emerged a new little plant grew into this beautiful, you now being the role model, using your skills that you learned as a champion to empower women. How beautiful is that?
Thank you. Yes, it's definitely an evolution that took place. It wasn't my plan ever, but
No.
because I needed to find my way through on my own, and I never want another woman to suffer the way I did, because back then, this was quite a while ago, there was no support, there's no online support. So I had to figure things out on my own. And when I did, I realized the power of the champion mindset that I had. And it was just right for me to share what I know with people that would benefit by it. So that's where me being the Widow Champion coaching program, that's where this all came to be, because really authentically, I'm living a life of service because it's something that I know is so valuable. I need to share it. And I think everyone in Dreamers and Doers probably has the same sort of storyline where they dream something and then they do it and they find their passion and purpose. So my experiences after becoming a widow and finding my through has become my purpose to help others.
Hmm. So powerful. And so, yeah, I would like to encourage you, if you're listening and you are a widow, to jump on Barbara's website and check it out, and don't hesitate to get yourself some support. And also, if you know of a widow, please share this video so they can get the support that would really help them move through this really tough time in their lives and come out the other side more empowered and maybe more connected to their purpose and experiencing joy in their lives again, like Barbara.
That would be awesome if you could share that information. I would really be appreciative of that because I need to get my message out there. And, I don't want to see women hurting and stuck and lost and lonely because we're here and we are supportive. And it gives me joy to bring joy.
Hmm. Beautiful. And so, Barbara, just one more question. If a woman, she has some ideas of what she would love to do, she has some dreams, maybe write the book or be in a relationship or whatever that may be, what would be, but she's not acting on it, what would be your piece of advice?
Again, acknowledge it. If you have a thought in your mind or in your heart, and you always thought, oh, I'd love to be able to do this, but I don't know how to do it or how to start, take it slowly. And you can do anything you put your mind to in baby steps. I mean,
Mm.
if you take a little action every single day, you will finally reach your final destination. And that would be what your purpose is to do. So, number one, commit to yourself and believe in yourself because you should never underestimate the value of your own self-worth. You are much more capable than you even think you are. You just have to apply your heart and soul into your dream.
Well, what a powerful, powerful message, Barbara. And it's so true. We can create what we set our minds on. So I love this to leave us. I would like to bring it in for landing, to leave us with this powerful message. But one more question. What's on the horizon for you, Barbara? Any new things or new dreams?
Well, I'm starting like I said, the Widows Embracing Life training course. It's my signature program. I'm going to be launching it sometime towards the beginning of June. So it's coming up.
Great.
And I'll be promoting it on Instagram and Facebook. So hopefully people will keep an eye out for it. And really, it's just getting myself out there to let the world know I'm here and I'm ready to help. So that's it.
Hmm. Wonderful. What a beautiful, beautiful mission, and what a wonderful difference you're making to so many women, Barbara. So,
Thank
um,
you, Carolina. And so are you. You are amazing. And I'm so proud to know you and call you my friend.
thank you so much, Barbara. And so, yeah, I want to thank you with all my heart for being on the show and for sharing your wisdom and your mindset skills and tips and hacks with all of us. And I've certainly learned a lot and got reminded of some important points. So thank you so much for being here, Barbara.
You're very welcome. And goodbye to all your viewers. Thank you. Live with joy.
Beautiful. And so, yeah, my last message is, if you're dreaming about something yourself, again, if it's the book or the relationship or whatever that may be, or just having more fun and joy in your life, what would it take to turn you from a dreamer into a doer? And so this is my passion and purpose, to help you realize your dreams. And so if there's something that's been in your mind, yeah, the my email address is kind of on the ticker floating across the screen. So just send me a message and let's schedule a conversation. It's complimentary. Let's just explore what's possible for you. So thank you again for watching. Next week we're going to have another amazing episode. And thank you, Barbara, again, and lots of love to you and to everybody who is watching.
Thank you.